What's going on, world? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Wealth District. I'm your host, Dr. P, the financial architect. What I do, I help families to be able to build a strong financial house, and I love doing it. And today, I have a very interesting guest, a young guest. I didn't even know he was gonna be my guest, but man, I'm excited for the conversation, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it as well. And I want to give a quick shout out to my wife who called me on my way here, just to encourage me and kind of pray for me. Babe, I love you, man. Thank you so much. All right, let's get going. We'll be right back. Welcome back, y'all. Like I said, welcome to another episode on the Wealth District. I'm excited. I'm always happy to be here, and I'm happy to have this conversation today. I have a young dude, very sharp, very bright, and like I said, I didn't know he was gonna be my guest. But man, when I found out, when I walked in the door, I was very excited, man. I met him for the first time a couple months ago, and I felt like he's very sharp, and I'm looking forward to the conversation, man. How you feeling, boss?
I'm feeling good. It's been a year,
Yeah.
but it's finishing off at the top.
It's
So
good.
I'm not too worried. I'm not
That's
too
good.
shook.
That's good. So when I walked in, you told me this is your first time being interviewed.
Yeah, I'm usually the one interviewing people. I usually am on the camera with my shades on.
That's it.
People can't really see me. I can't
That's
really
it.
see them. The light, you know what I mean? So it's a little different. It's a little
Man,
different.
it's a real pleasure, man. Like I said, man, I
course.
love you. Got a good head on your shoulders, and I
Appreciate
have no doubt in my mind you're gonna do amazing things, man.
Thank you.
You got a show with Shades and Snacks,
Shades and Snacks, yes, it's a
man.
podcast.
Tell them about that show, man.
So I started Shades and Snacks. The idea hit me, truthfully, years ago. Years ago when I was in college.
Okay.
I was a freshman in college, and I guess even back then I always just had a spirit that kind of people gravitate to.
Yeah.
So I was always with people. Like somebody was always with me, no matter where I was at. People would come up to my floor in the morning and be like, yo, Kaden, open the door. So I mean, you know what I mean? I was always with somebody. And we would always just sit and talk, no matter where we were, no matter if we were in the caf or in a dorm room or outside. We just always sat and talked. And most of us were football players at the time. So I said, you know what? I think I should start a podcast.
Yeah.
So my MacBook, when you open it, is like the roughest draft you could think of the logo for Shades and Snacks. I filmed the first episode. I didn't really pay attention to what I was doing. I was just doing it with my friends for real. And then years and years later, I met this light skinned man with green eyes, and he kind of was like, you know, you ever had an idea about this? By the way, shout out to Dream and Dream Media.
That's right.
I met Dream over 5 years ago, but we reconnected more recently, and he kind of just asked me like you ever, with the work that we do, he was like, you ever like had an interest in that? I was like, it's so crazy. Yeah. He was like, all right, and now we're here.
Man, listen, man. I'm a firm believer in divine appointment, and I'm a firm believer in what you think. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You had that idea of creating your own podcast, using your personality, your God-given gift to be able to bless other people. And years later, you run into somebody that brought the idea out of you to kind of bring it to fruition.
Confidence, yeah.
That's not luck. That's divine appointment. I'm a
is.
firm believer in that. Guess what? Same thing with him too. I met him randomly on the elevator at a business networking event, and I'm here, right? So, shout out to him. Dream Motivate. I feel like you really impact a lot of people out here, man. So shout out to you, man. But I'm really excited about this conversation because I'm a firm believer in perspectives, right?
Me too. That's literally what I talk about. Like that's the main.
Yeah.
That's the main ticket to get on the show. If you have a perspective that maybe people don't like.
Yeah.
But that you can stand on.
Stand on.
Let's talk.
Yeah. I love that, right? Because when you talk to, like I said, I have clients as an advisor, right? I have clients between 18 all the way to 80, right? And at different ages and stages, there's different perspectives on money, right? There's different views, there are different needs, there are different desires and wants at different stages, right? The things you care about changes as you matriculate and as you age, right? And the first before I get into it, the first question I want to ask you, and I ask every guest when they come on my show, what is your when you hear the word wealth, what does that mean to you?
It actually kind of means a couple of things because I feel like wealth can be achieved multiple different ways. They kind of play off of each other.
Okay.
Honestly, I tell all my friends, I know I'm wealthy when I wake up comfortable.
Okay. So it's a mentality for you.
Yeah, it's definitely
Okay.
a mentality, but the mentality can come from a lot of things. You know what I
Okay.
mean? For some people, it comes from money. For some people, it comes from healthy relationships.
Yes, that's
it just
right.
kind of depends on
That's right.
what kind of feeds that monster inside of you.
Okay.
So I mean,
Okay.
for me, wealth is just honestly, it'll probably be consistency.
Consistency,
Once
okay.
I can live a life to where I can walk into my closet and there's 17 of the same shirts. I go to my drawer and there's 17 bow ties. You know what I mean? Like living like I'm in a movie for
That's
real.
right. That's right. Okay.
Then
okay.
you know I'm still
Okay.
grinding for that itch.
That's it. That's good, man. I like that. You know, when I walked in here, like, and I found out it was you I was gonna be interviewing, and I looked at the age. You mentioned you were 22, right?
Yes, sir.
So you essentially a Generation Z, right?
Yeah.
And we're
I
kind of
didn't
laughing.
realize
We're kind of
that.
laughing about it
Yeah.
because it's not something you kind of know if you type your hair, right? So I put up on Google, right, about the different generations. So we have the you know the silent generation, which are like very like educated, but they're very divided, right? Then we have the baby boomers, right? Also very educated, right? But that's the age between 50 and 68. We have the Generation X, 35 to 49. Generation Y, 25 to 34. And the Gen Z, which is your age group, right?
Yeah.
So, and what's interesting is that each generation, there are certain characteristics that classifies or identifies each generation.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really, when you take a look at it, it's really amazing how different perspectives are from generation to generation
It is.
to generation. The Gen Z, you guys are like very, very socially active.
Very
right?
outspoken.
And you guys are also
Super.
all about entrepreneurship, trying to do your own thing, trying to create your own vibe, right? Not one to boss, not one to just want to do your own thing, right? And I
Yeah.
love that because it shows creativity, right? So I want to kind of redirect it back to the area of finance, right? So when you sit down with your friends, y'all have a conversation, y'all chopping it up, right? Obviously, finance not only it's not the big conversation, but when you guys ever do talk about that, what is that conversation like? I don't want to misjudge. What is that conversation like?
We do talk about y'all seen Desi on the show if you watch the podcast. My best friend Desi. We talk about finances a lot. We talk
I love
about
that.
We talk about different things. We talk about all types of things. Me and my little brother had a conversation about finances last night.
Man,
we
I
talk
love
about it
that.
a lot just because I know for a fact that there is a good chunk of people that don't get to see the rooms that I've
Yeah.
seen or that I've been a part of and that I will be a part of.
That's right.
And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're outcasted or you're not supposed to be on this train. That just means you got to hear it from the right person.
Yeah.
So what I do is any information that I get, if I hear something that I'm like, no, you need to get on this.
Yeah.
You need to do this. You need to do that. I'm giving that information out. All I can do is you can lead the horse to water, but I'm not going to force you to
Can't
drink.
make it drink.
I'm not
That's
even
right.
going to try to force you to drink. I'm
That's right.
going to give you the tools, and I'm going to make sure that I give them to you correctly. And if I need to connect you with somebody, I'll
Yeah.
make that phone call quick and
Yeah.
easy. We'll get whatever you need sorted out.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like my friends in finances, it's funny because within my friend group, I have friends that's like this, and then I got friends that's like this. But
Mm-hmm. You
we're
talking
all
about
kinda-
intellectually?
No,
Or
as
like
far
just
as far as
age
finances.
or finance? Okay,
As
like the
far as,
knowledge about finances.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I got my homeboy. Shout out DK. My homeboy DK. I don't know. He's been on
He
it
gets it, yeah.
from a very young age.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, a lot of us tend to listen to him. But then there's like, the more that we learn, the more that I learn, I try to share to
Share,
grow them as
yeah.
well. Just because I was just saying this the other day, if I'm ever at a table passing out my $100,000, I want you to be there.
That's right.
And if that never happens, I want to have the honor to be there at your table when you're passing out yours.
So
yeah, I try to-
that's a very dope mentality, and I think I wish a lot of people would think like that, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm so fascinated to have this conversation because I'm a product of somebody take me by the hand and put me on game, right? And I always share this story because I feel like stories matter, right?
do.
They tell a lot about a person's history, right? I was 17. I used to be a bag at a grocery store, bagging groceries, right? And I just happened to run into a man that I bag his groceries, and he was like, "Man, like, why are you so excited?" Like, I'm like, "Man, I'm thankful to have a job, right?
Yeah.
I'm an immigrant, so it's like any opportunity for me to be able to create and produce and help my family, I'm a jump on that,
Gotta
right?"
give it 100%.
So since age 17, I've been on this financial journey. And it has made all the difference for me. So when I hear young kids talking about that, it lights up my heart because it resonates with me, right? So I want to kind of ask you, so besides just talking about it, or you guys sitting down and just having a conversation about it, is anybody actually taking the next steps? You know what, man, I want to sit down with somebody to have a conversation and kind of see how I can put my ideas, or if how I can get some help to be able to make sure that I'm financially like set in my future. Is anybody talking about getting to the next step? It's one thing to just talk about something,
Right,
but
but
are you
actually
taking an
doing
action
it.
to get to the next step, actually making it happen?
I will say, so one thing that I started asking a lot of my friends, what's one financial thing that you're going to leave in 2025? What's one thing? Just one thing.
Okay.
And of course I get various answers, and that's what I'm seeing from them. They're
Okay.
actually cutting those things off and stopping those things, and like, yeah, no, I don't really even,
Okay.
like for instance, the cash advance apps. They come
okay.
through Clutch. They come through Clutch. That was smart. But
Hold up.
it's
Pause you right there. Explain what a cash advance app you're referring to, because some folks may not know about it.
So basically, well, see, that's the thing. We don't want them to know about it. We do not want them to know about it. But
Okay.
basically, it's a
Okay.
it's a app that you can download.
Okay.
It'll run your whatever you have with
Okay.
with collection bureaus.
Uh-huh.
And if you are selected, if you pass the screening level, they'll throw you some bread.
I see.
And then you pay it back little by little over time. And the truth about that is, most of the time, if you're doing that, it's because you need to make more money. And by the time you're paying, first of all, you're going to be paying back with interest. So now you're paying back more than what you got back. And then by then, it's going to be time to use that cash advance all over again.
Okay.
So then it kind of puts you in a process.
That's correct.
And it's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's the same thing with Cash App. Cash App has the same thing now.
Yeah.
Where it asks you to do a little afterpay thing. Now, mind you, I did fall short to that. But I keep it, I take care of it.
Yeah.
And most of the time I don't use it. It just sits there. But it's a scam.
Yeah, man. So see right there. See, I was trying to get to that, right? Just because something is available, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you see everybody doing it, it does not mean that you also have to do the same thing as well.
Yeah, no.
When you have education, no matter what that background, whether it's financial, science, whatever it is, right? When you know better, you are expected to do better, right?
Sure.
Especially when you're somebody that you claim earlier, people look up to you and stuff like that. You owe it to people to be an example, especially when you put yourself in that position, right? So what do you feel like, for example, you've been in school right now, right? I've been out of school, right? The things you're talking about, bro, a lot of that can't even resonate because I'm not even thinking about that, right? Because I'm in a different generation, right? That's why this thing is so fascinating, right? So you guys being in school, what are you learning? Like, is finance being taught in school, or are you guys learning finance outside of school? Because I feel like this has been an issue for a very long time. So maybe it's changed. Let the audience know. What are you guys learning about finance in school? Are you learning anything at all?
Truthfully, as far as here in Texas, when it comes to the school system, it's a lot of problems, like small issues that build up. I feel like they do teach you about finances, but you don't know that you're learning about finances.
Okay, elaborate on that.
You'll learn like different strategies when it comes to saving money.
Okay.
But you learn them early in elementary school.
Okay.
When you get to middle school, they have like the little reward thing to where
Correct.
if you save your pennies, if you save
Okay.
you can
Okay,
get something out of
okay.
the treasure box when it comes to saving money. But as times change, those people higher up realize that saving money really doesn't do much for you except just save money. It looks good. You can show people.
Yeah.
They didn't learn. They didn't know how to teach people how to invest in something.
That's right.
Within a school curriculum.
Yeah, correct.
So then they teach you different things like like different rewards. You know, if you do this, we're gonna get this pep rally.
Okay, so it's like you're doing it, but you're not really knowing why you're doing it, or like what is okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you're not picking up on like, oh, okay,
Okay.
this is the same thing that I was doing. Okay, this is easier than I thought
Okay.
it was.
Okay.
As far as like directly, no, they
No.
do have programs at certain places,
Yeah.
but I went to a regular old high school.
Okay.
I took AP classes.
Okay,
Did what I
good.
was supposed to do. And the most I could say that they, when it came to finances, was business and economics, and that wasn't until senior year.
Yeah.
They were both half semesters. Business was cool.
Yeah.
Economics was more about like
Yeah.
just supply and demand things, and that's why I was telling Dream the other day. That's more of like worker talk.
Yeah.
Because even, you know, when you run a business, you usually have somebody that's looking at your things like supply and demand and your net worth and all those things. You're not really worried about that. You have other things to worry about. You have a presence to worry about.
Correct.
So it's just they in a way teach you, but not
It's
to the
good.
point to where they want it to stick with you.
Okay, that's great. Now, let me ask you this. From whatever sources that you learn about finances from, or how to be professional, efficient when it comes to your money, what do you feel like is the biggest lesson that in your 22 years of life, what do you feel is the biggest financial lesson that you've learned, whether it's from anybody that's around you, an adult, whoever, right? That you feel like you love what they share and you feel like it can really help you.
I've met some pretty cool people.
Okay.
Some pretty in their eyes, they consider themselves wealthy.
Wealthy, okay.
Very wealthy people.
Okay.
Through conversations from various corners, you know, I've collected that saving money, like I was saying, saving money doesn't really do much for you.
That's right.
If you really look into it, a physical dollar is worth about 70 cents. So what are you going to do with it unless it's in your bank account, right?
Okay.
If it's in your bank account, it's just sitting there. It's not growing. It's not doing anything. It's not moving.
Correct.
It's stagnant. So
Correct.
the same money you had in 2002 will be the same money you have coming in 2026.
Okay. Okay.
There's other things to do with that.
So okay, let me pause you right there. So in that's a good point what you just said right now. So what can you do about that to make sure that it's not happening to you?
So the best way, so for me, right now, honestly, other than investing in myself, watching out for best investments.
Okay.
The same thing I taught my little brother. Like he kind of surprised me last night. He was like, "Yeah, listen to you. It's Christmas time, so I put money in Walmart stocks." I kind of looked around the car like, "Who are you talking?
Yeah.
You did that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, yeah, you know, it's Christmas time, so I put stocks in Walmart and Amazon because, you know, it's Christmas. They're gonna be going crazy." And I'm like, "You listened."
See, this is man. I so love this conversation.
He's 19. My little brother's 19.
See, the thing is, right, there's a cold piece in the Bible that says, teach a child in the way that he should go. So when they grow up, they will not depart from it. You don't gotta be a parent to teach a child the way they should go. You could be an older brother. My older brother put me on game to a lot of different things, right? And sometimes we have such a major responsibility to make sure that we are guiding the people around us or our siblings that are younger than us in the right direction. I love what you said. My younger brother and I were having a conversation last night about finances. I would love nothing more than to see young people galvanize around financial conversations. Because at the end of the day, that is one of the surest ways to become financially free.
Finances,
Because
health, and wealth.
correct. You see, you can invest in your health.
Yeah.
You can invest in your thinking.
Definitely
You can invest in other people. You can invest in relationships. You can invest in the economy. You can invest in crypto. There's so many things you can invest money in or time in, right? But at the end of the day, you don't do things just to do things. There has to be a rhyme and reason as to why you're doing things, right? You mentioned earlier about saving. And what you said was true. When you save money in a bank, right? You go back several years later on, you're going to see the same money there. In your mind, it's safe, but
Right.
you're not accounting for inflation,
You're not accounting
right?
for inflation.
Because inflation is eating away at that money.
Disasters.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So the only way to build wealth when it comes to your monetary is you have to invest.
do.
Investing is the only way you build wealth with your money, right? And also investing in yourself. I've invested in myself because the same guy that I was in 2-3 years ago, I'm not the same guy today.
Right.
So when I sit with young folks, I'm 40, right? Y'all might consider me as an old head. And I'm cool with that. Guess what? When I was younger, your age, I call 40 years old head. But guess what? I'm cool with that. But at the end of the day, I have a responsibility to make sure when I sit down with you, we ain't just talking rubbish. We talking about real life situations, right? I gotta pour something to you. Hey, bro, young buck, man, let me holler at you real quick. What do you think about this? You learn about this? Because that's my legacy, right? I'm doing this because I want to make sure that when I leave this earth, that every decision I made, I can stand on that. You know what? I'm proud I did that, right? I'm not living my life to impress nobody. I'm living my life to make sure that the life that God gave me, I make it mean something. You feel what I'm saying? When you hear all this passion in my voice, it's, man, I'm activated. Talking to you, bro, it got me active. Because, man, listen, I was once there and had somebody not put me on game on how to make certain decisions, I would not be where I am today. So who am I to keep it to myself? I got to point to some other people. You see what I'm saying? So you starting your own thing about Shades and Snacks. That's very creative. I never would have thought about that, right? So if a guest come on your show, right, what are you looking to extract from that guest?
A couple of things. First thing, there's a lot of people in the world that need services.
Yeah.
So off rip, I want you to promote yourself.
Okay.
I want you to come on. If it's a themed episode, come on in theme. If it's not, just come on. Your nice attire, not your Sunday's best, but your casual. How would you go to a kickback? That's basically what it is. How would you? How would you pop up? And then just genuine conversation.
Yeah.
It comes to a point where we do, we'll talk about money and or things in relationships that we should and shouldn't do, and what do we see, trends, just different things like that. I want to get their perspective. Yeah. Because everybody's perspective is different. But at the same time, there's a lot of people's perspective that can be altered. Yeah. There's a lot of people's perspectives that are blurry. And they think they see things, and then when you say something, it might be, okay, that's what that was supposed to be understood. So I just try to pull everybody around, and if you got something going, and we can do something for you. I can do something for you. We're gonna get it done.
Like that. Yeah, man, I love that.
Make those connections.
I love that. Earlier when I first walked in, Dream was asking me about my client base, right? And I had mentioned, anywhere from 18 to 80, right? And he's like, but I'm sure it's skewed more towards the older, right? And I'm like, yeah, you're right? A lot of my clients, are not, your age, right? And I would love to tap into that market because I feel like that's when it needs to start, right? Because that's how I started. And I want to be able to really impact that generation. So, like, what are some things that, for me, and for any other advisor out there, for anybody out there, right? What are some things that you guys are talking about, right? That you wish, that somebody would teach you or grab you by the hand and teach you how to do? Like someone like myself as an advisor, how can I help you guys the most, your generation?
Honestly, a lot of kids these days, a lot of people my age, were hard-headed. A lot of us are not coachable. We don't like to listen.
That's key, man.
We were raised by single parents, so that's what we know. I'm not finna sit around and listen to 7 teachers when I got one parent at home that runs the show. So, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's interesting, man. That's interesting.
It's honestly leading by example.
Okay.
And spreading that awareness. People, the same way how, like, y'all grew up hearing, like, everybody's watching you. Yeah. We watching everybody. Yeah. See what I mean? Like, we're on our phones all day. Our faces and our screens all day. So it's a lot of things that we do see. Okay. So think of it like a computer screen. Yeah. Right? You might open your computer screen and have 72 tabs open. Yeah. And for some people that's like, oh my God. Yeah. And for some people that's like, oh, I'm gonna just click through and see where I'm at, see what I need to pick up on. Our generation is I feel like a lot more in tune to our emotions. And when certain things may happen, a certain thing may trigger a certain mindset, we would cling to whatever our comfort zone might be. Comfort zone. Right? So if, let's say somebody's been struggling with money and they seen a video of yours and it helped them out, help them calm down a little bit, help them realize like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. I'm actually not doing so bad. That's right. Right? Then they go on about their day. They might not see a video for another 3 months, but the next time they have a financial issue, they're like, no, where's the Wealth District? You see what I mean? So as long as you're consistent we're gonna have to see you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be certain people that's gonna cling on first.
Yeah.
Because they completely understand.
Yeah.
And they're usually the ones that are friends with the people who don't understand.
Yeah.
And once they, they make that translation to their friends, a lot of people, a lot of the older generation talks in ways that younger generation don't understand. They'll hear it, but the comprehension of it is like, what are they even talking about?
What are we talking about?
So once we get to make that translation to our friends, from what we've heard, just being around older people, knowing how they talk, just being able to make that translation, then they will, pick up on it. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Let me hop on that train.
I love your mentality. I just love the way you answer questions. You get it, right? I have a couple burning questions that I want to ask you.
Come on.
What? I don't know how to put this. Like, sitting where you're sitting there, and sitting where I'm sitting there, right? What is the thing that you feel like your generation fear the most, or worry about the most, that maybe we're not aware of that we should be aware of?
Ooh, I like that question. Living like their parents. I'm the oldest out of my siblings at home, so when I was growing up, I seen a lot of different things. I seen it's way different than how my younger siblings were brought up.
Yeah.
And of course, that generation is very, very good at struggling and making it look good. Super good. Especially black women. Just because that title's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
For one, it's driven by society. People who live, fake lives and, fall short everywhere else.
Yeah.
But that struggling, that obvious struggle, nobody really wants that look.
Yeah.
And they did a very good job at mastering struggling and making it look really good.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like a lot of our generation wants to be bosses.
I was getting to that next.
Yeah.
So that could be the reason why this generation, you guys are so driven to go towards entrepreneurship. Is that the reason why? Would you say, or one of the reasons why?
Yeah, one of the things I say all the time. The Bible says, a man who don't work don't eat.
Hey,
it doesn't
come on
say,
with it, man.
Come on with it. It doesn't say a man who worked for 30. Who never worked.
Come on with it.
There's always something to do.
Yeah.
There's always something to do.
Yeah.
No matter what, man. You spent. Okay, you're older. Like people that are older than me, you spent your life learning something.
Yeah.
There's something that you have hold of that you mastered.
Yeah.
Enlighten the next person because you're not gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
But your legacy can be.
Yeah.
So enlighten the next person. Don't think that you're the only person that's interested in making Etsy shops, or you're the only person interested in. No, that's not even like that's delusional. Like there's gonna be somebody. There's so many people on this earth.
Yeah.
Even if you share it on social media, somebody in Argentina might see it and hop on.
That's right.
So it's just spreading that awareness.
Man, I love that. Next question. From where you sitting at, where I'm sitting at, right? I'm a firm believer in it's not just adults that give advice.
It's not.
You can also learn from the youth and people who are younger than you, because times change. The way we view things change. The way we do things change. Sometimes we need to make adjustments, right? Knowing what you know about me, except which is maybe very little, right? We only met. It's my second time meeting you, right? What advice would you, from your perspective, what advice can you give someone like myself or somebody in my age group that can help me to be able to learn how to better deal with people your generation?
Our hearts are big.
Okay.
They just shattered a little bit. So we're just gonna take a little bit more time. But we're not going nowhere.
We're going nowhere. I like that.
We're not going nowhere. Once somebody younger generation cling on to you, it's like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not a disconnect that's gonna really just take place. At least, from their end, where it's just like, well, what's going on? Like what's going on with them? A lot of us wanna know as much as possible.
Yeah.
Just because there's, like I said, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
I was telling my brothers this last night. The goal is to take your money, to have it make you money.
That's right.
The goal is to be making money while your eyes are closed.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, I like that. Nah, that's wonderful, man. This conversation is really hitting home for me. I think, I'm very excited that you were the guest. Like I said, I like for things to be very authentic.
Yeah.
Not planned, not I don't practice for my conversation because I want it to be very raw and very authentic, right? And just be real, And I think for me, when I started learning about finance, right? And I started learning some real harsh truths about money. I'm like, man, how are the majority of people going to make it? Because I always say, the goal of life is not to work until you die. It's to work to accumulate enough money to have that money working for you so that at some point you don't have to work for money. And what I'm seeing more and more in today's generation is that a lot of people are working into their 60s and 70s because they have run out of money and they don't have the means to be able to continue to live without having to work. And that breaks my heart because it shouldn't be that way, right? If I could just sit with everybody in the world, whether it's through the podcast, whether it's one-on-one, and just share with them and help them to be able to do better financially or build or put the right things in place so that they can have financial peace, I will do it because everybody deserves to have financial peace. And I always say, if people don't learn how to resolve the money thing, it will always lead people to the corridors of compromise, right? So for you, at 22, at some point in your life, you want to be financially independent, right? You want to be able to have enough money working for you so you don't have to work for money, right? What are you doing to prepare to make sure that at some point in your life, you have that financial independence?
Well, shout out to Dream and Dream Media, but I no longer work a 9 to 5 as of a few days ago. And it kind of helps paint that, okay, now and it's crazy because me and Dream have these conversations where I tell them, like, there's these things I want to get done.
She's a good mentor, man.
But this job is in the way. Right. There's so many things when I want to get up. I like waking up early. I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Get a walk in, make sure I drink some water and get a little workout in, do my meditation, get on live for about 30 minutes, get in my shower, man. Before I start my day. By the time I'm done with my morning routine, it's 8:30.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do that when I'm getting home at 1 a.m. And I'm the kind of person that I played high school football, I played college ball, that beating myself up to go to sleep late, waking up early. I'm too old for that now. I'm not going to do that. It's like I kind of have to know not even my value. I just know what I deserve. Yeah. If I know I just worked my tail off, I'm not going to give myself 4 hours of sleep and then get up for the next morning half-assing all day. Yeah. That's not going to do me or anybody that I'm doing anything for any good.
That's right.
So, that's right. But now I can construct my days way better.
That's right.
So that way
you control your day.
I can control what I can control, actually, instead of only controlling what I'm allowed to control.
How was it scary to walk away from your job to pursue and do your own thing?
No.
Because people got to know. Because I think a lot of people got to make decisions every day. Was it scary?
Yes and no. Yes, because, I mean, why wouldn't it be, Yeah. It's kind of like, just falling back. Yeah. But what I can say is trust God.
God, man.
Trust God. A lot of these companies, a lot of these Christian-based companies don't believe in God no ways. They do crazy things, have crazy policies and crazy tendencies that just don't align with a lot of things that they say or a lot of the things that they present to the people that are paying their bills.
Yeah.
It might sound scary. It might feel scary, look scary. The best thing you can do is put yourself in a comfortable position. And I'm not even saying financially, just emotionally. To where you have something behind you. You know? You have something that you can, when you need to, okay, I need to sit down for a second and make sure I'm not tripping. There's something that's there for you. It shouldn't be scary though, because it just shouldn't be. For somebody, I've been writing music since I was like 7. I've always knew I just got done. That was my first fast food job. I've never worked a fast food job in my life.
See.
I've worked construction. I've worked as an umpire for Little League Baseball and for high school and college baseball.
Okay.
Then I worked for Quick Trip for a minute. I was a manager over there.
Okay.
They pay pretty good. So I was over there for a minute. Then this fast food spot wasn't
gonna work.
But there was things about everything that was just like, I can't.
You can't.
I don't. I don't agree with it, and I don't want to be around it. And so I kind of knew like it was coming to a point. It's just that the pimples finally popped. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Man, it's nice.
This is great, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. My last question to you, and maybe this may or may not shock you, right? You know, when I first, cause I've been advising families, you know, both part time and full time for maybe over 20 years now, right? You know, in the early years, they said, man, you know, like you have $1 million, you're gonna be comfortable, you're gonna be good. Yeah, that's not the case no more.
It's not.
So especially for your generation, would you be shocked if I told you that according to studies, that your generation will need to have at least $3 million put away in order to be able, by the time you get to your later stages in life, in order to be able to have a comfortable lifestyle. Now, I don't know how much I agree with this, but that's what studies are saying. When you hear something like that, right?
I can believe it. It's believable.
When you hear something like that, how does that make you feel? Does it scare you, or does it feel like, you know what, I gotta get to it so I can make sure that I'm good?
Not scared at all. It's believable. At the same time, I feel like with the way that things are going, it'll be a lot more achievable.
Okay, I like that.
People get famous off of anything. You know what I mean? So,
but that's somebody getting famous. I'm talking about the average person your age that's not thinking about entrepreneurship, that's thinking about having to get a job or to have to work or trying to make ends meet.
Now watch this.
Okay,
doing the right thing with that fame is where everything falls in line. If you take the right thing and you're okay, cool. My face is blowing up. Okay, let me put my face in as many places as I can.
Okay. Let
me market this correctly. Let me make sure I'm paying attention to everything that I'm doing. I'm being careful, but I'm also being attentive. Let me make sure I'm taking everything correctly.
Yeah.
I feel like that money could be achievable. I mean, y'all see Ice-T still to this day making commercials in Spanish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even he's still chasing the bag.
I love that mentality. Like, that 3 million, most people would scare them.
Oh, yeah.
But to your generation, it's like you guys are so bold or so audacious and just so far thinking, right? Quick way to maybe to make money by, through fame. I love that because when I first saw it, I'm like, man, the average person retiring today has less than 200 grand in the account to be able to survive on, right? Correct. So they have to keep working. So if $3 million, how are these kids going to do it if they don't get on the right path early?
But
and when I have this conversation,
because we didn't talk about where that money is, right? That money could be. We were just talking about who we were talking about yesterday, on skyscrapers because the bank can't hold Mayweather, right? You got that. You got different investments. You got different assets that you can have to where it's like it might not be in my account.
Correct.
But right now I got $3 million.
That's right. That's right. So assets.
Yeah.
Right. That produces money. Right. So it's either you at work, money at work, or assets at work. Right. That put money in your pocket. Right. So, man, this conversation really touched me, man. I feel like I can keep going on. Right. Yeah. But I know we both got things to do. So. I'm a really like pause here, and I want to kind of really give this conversation really like trigger my mind. I want to kind of just give the audience that are watching this quick message, right? And it took me 40 years, like I said, to really like let this thing hit home for me, right? Make sure that at the end of your life, when you're sitting on that porch and just thinking about your life in retrospect, that every decision that you made in your life, make sure that you can honestly say, I gave it my very best shot. I did this my way, and I can stand on my decisions. You don't want to be saying, man, I wish, because I wish carry tons. But just make sure that you had a bravado and the belief in your heart to pursue whatever it is you feel that God has put on your heart to do. The destiny is going to cost you. I don't care what nobody tell you. Anything great is going to cost you something. You got to decide what price you're going to pay. I can't decide for you. You got to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm willing to pay this price, that price to make sure that the dream that God put in my heart, I'm going to fulfill. You go to the cemetery. There are a lot of folks dead there that carried the biggest dreams. One of my favorite mentors, Dr. Miles Monroe, said, the cemetery is the most wealthiest place in the whole world. Why? It's because that's where most ideas never came to fruition that God put in people's lives. So what I believe in this is this. Do not just live life to live life. Make sure that you are chasing after what's in your heart, that you are putting yourself first. Just like on that flight, they tell you if anything happens on this flight, put your mask on first. You cannot help anybody without helping yourself first. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Believe in what you're thinking. And above all, believe in God. And as I sit here today, you hear me talk about God, hey, God, that, right? I'm not just some Christian just sitting around just talking this. I wasn't always like that. But life humbled me. Life beat me down. And as I begin to matriculate through life, I realized that apart from God, I'm nothing and I could do nothing. And this is supported in the Bible where the pastor says, apart from me, you could do nothing. And I believe that 1,000%. If you want to bet on yourself and chase after your own dreams, you will get a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters. They will tell you you can't. They won't even support you. But don't forget, champions will never clap for or support in the beginning. But when they succeeded, there was a long line of people clapping and saying, I knew that person, I knew that person. Mm-hmm. So remember, you have the gift in you. You've been blessed. God said, I made you fearfully and wonderfully. He said, I know the plan I have for you, plan to prosper you, to give you a hope and to give you a future. So when God has said anything about you and you were lost, you don't know what to do, where should you go? Go to your Creator, because why? He knows the plan that He has for you, to prosper you. I don't want to keep rapping. My goal here is to inspire, is to help, is to educate, and to push up. Because what the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. I've been blessed with a lot, but I've also struggled a lot. I'm going to share with you my successes, and I'm going to share with you my struggles. Take from what you want to take from it, and apply what you want to apply. At the end of the day, like I said, you've been at another episode at the Wealth District, where it's raw, uncut, all stuff, and no fluff. Stay blessed, because you are blessed. Do what you got to do to get to where you need to get. Love, peace. God is good all the time. Stay blessed.